mean, from that day to this one.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just as we imagine it, and I don't know where those flowers came from, but that just put the cherry on top of the ice
Where,
cream.
did you order those flowers, Miss
I
Vincent?
think they came from CMSD.
No, they don't order flowers.
I don't know where those came from.
You pay for them?
I don't know where they came
Oh,
from.
Lord. Well, maybe Miss Lisa Johnson ordered them.
You know what? She does normally order flowers. Remember last year
She
she
must
ordered
have.
the bouquets and stuff as
Because I
well.
thought this was, remember when I was saying you bought the flowers?
Yeah, that's why I told you.
I
No,
thought this lady did
no,
those.
she doesn't
No.
do real flowers.
Oh,
No, I ordered those.
the red one?
Yes.
But they all came together.
No, they came after we left.
Well, then I don't know where those came from.
That's what I'm saying. I
Miss
don't know.
Johnson normally does order flowers because if we have a woman speaker, which we've had the last 3 or 4 years,
Yes.
we give her flowers.
Got it.
But
Okay.
because we had a male one a different
Right,
day.
right. Okay. Lord, no, I thought the white ones weren't here when we
No, the
practiced this
red ones are
morning.
the ones that we took
Okay.
out of the vases. I mean
Okay.
the boxes. Oh, turn your phone off.
There.
Oh, my phone off.
Yeah, so please, you're not gonna turn it off.
Probably in it.
You know what today is? We're gonna have to catch you afterwards.
Yeah. Where's Mr. Foster? How you cut it off? Slide down, and then it's at the top left. Do not disturb. Hit do not disturb. Yep. They're in the. They're at the. They're walking in.
Oh,
It's
well, how come they're not walking?
he didn't want to, but they look so nice in there.
Oh, I know. I like them with Miss Schmidt and Miss Morgan. I only saw them with.
Yeah, once I saw Schmidt, I said I'm gonna get a white suit.
I'm trying to remember what they had.
Morgan has on a few.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is now 5:55. Our graduates are moving to the doors so that our distinguished guests and faculty and graduates can begin their procession. I'd like to ask at this time, if you would please, to silence your telephones, please. Silence them or put them on vibrate. We'll be starting in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, they just got here. And Alicia wanted to come to the sad. I'm like, it made sense because she's taking chocolate class.
Yeah. Nobody.
Because Renee gave her her ticket. She was looking from Cincinnati to
They didn't have an actual ticket. Jeff received their ID.
oh my God, who's this? Is that Vanessa Tard? It's Vanessa.
What's the matter?
A graduate just got here. Lord have mercy. Because I'm looking like, and I'm like, what is that? Oh, you see, doing too much. Hurry up and get that cap on and let her run on out
you know what bothers me? Nobody has texted us to say we got a graduate missing. So we don't know who else might be missing.
So could someone have like an,
Yes, Weems had it, Rice had it, Cronister had it.
yeah, they have a chart. You're making me happy now that I'm on the stage because when I have to think about any of those little
Oh
hiccups.
no.
You would think we need to give people parking for as few people as is here.
They didn't need 15 tickets apiece either.
Sure didn't. The candidates scream about it.
Absolutely, and look at this.
That's always how it is, though. Well, the only people I've seen with large group of people so far was landscapers. When they came in, that's a very distinguished.
Good evening, everyone. If you would take your seats at this time. Good evening, everyone. If you would take your seats at this time. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for an event that many of you have been waiting for maybe 17 years, 18 years, since a beautiful baby was wrapped in a blanket and you knew that high school graduation was coming. At this time, it is my honor to present our CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, our distinguished guests, and the faculty of the Cleveland High School of Digital Arts. Let's receive them with a round of applause as they process in. Thank you, thank you. On this outstanding evening, it is my honor to welcome our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Eric Gordon, School Board Member Dr. Lisa Thomas, our distinguished podium guests, the faculty of Cleveland High School for Digital Arts, and all of our parents and families. Thank you so very much for joining us for the commencement of the mighty class of 2023. Let's give them a hand. This class has worked so hard, and it is my honor to ask you to please stand as the Dragons take to the aisles, the class of 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2023. Woo-hoo! At this time, I'd ask Jasmine Fuentes to join me. Jasmine. Here she comes. At this time, it is my honor to present to you Jasmine Fuentes, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Could everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Oh. I pledge allegiance to the flag and the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Again, thank you so much for coming. Just one last reminder, if you would put your cell phones on vibrate or silence them, we'd appreciate it. Nelvon?
Good evening. My name is Nelvon Woods. Some of you may know me by Nelly. So today we are honored by the CEO, Eric Gordon, with us this evening. And just like the class of 2023, he will also be graduating from CMSD himself and begin a new adventure and will continue to do great things for teens and adults as well. On behalf of CHSCA, Mr. Gordon, we thank you for dedicating over a decade to honor our education and well-being. We appreciate you and wish you Godspeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the CEO of Cleveland Metro School District, Mr. Eric S. Gordon.
Great job.
Well, good evening, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, cousins, friends and family. Buenas noches, mamás y papás, abuelas y abuelos, tías y tíos, hermanos y hermanas, primos, amigos y familiares. Felicitaciones a la clase de 2023. Congratulations to the class of 2023. Before I share my brief remarks today, I want to take a moment to ask all of the educators of the Cleveland School for Digital Arts and of the CMSD to please stand and be recognized for the part you've played in these young men and women making the stage today. Stay standing for just one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, education is not respected in this country in the way that it deserves to be, but we are so proud to have some of the best educators in the United States of America teaching the kids in Cleveland. Thank you all again. So, as you heard in the introduction, this is my senior year too. And so I'm going to take just a couple of minutes to talk with our class of 2023. They let me off the leash. I always warn them not to do this, but, you know, whatever. So I want to just say something to this class and to your family and friends. I came to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District in 2007. And that means you weren't even in school yet. You weren't even in preschool yet. And I became your CEO when you were in first grade. And so I've had the honor and the privilege to have watched you grown up. I visited your classrooms for over 16 years. I got to see you in primary and kindergarten and intermediate, when you were middle school, the beginning of high school, then on Zoom, and then back at the end of high school. And anyone who knows me knows I talk about my kids. And when I'm talking about my kids, I'm talking about you. And so I want to share a couple of things for my kids in this last moment as we collectively move into our next thing. Family and friends, if you have your cell phones or those old-fashioned things called cameras, get them out, because we're going to do a couple of photo moments. And I'm going to need a little audience help in a minute, too. So get those cameras ready. So for class of 23, here's what I need you to do. If you would just stand up for me. Stand up for me. And I'm going to give you a direction. I'll get out of the way so I'm not right in the middle of it. I'm going to give you a direction. And when you hear the direction, just do what instinctually you hear to do. So first of all, put your right hand up as high as you can reach it. Your other right hand. Okay, so high as you can reach it, high as you can reach it. And I'm going to count to 3. And when I do, this is when you're going to want to take your picture, because something really cool is going to happen. So when I count to 3, you're going to do what you hear, and they're going to get a great photo. So on 1, 2, 3, go higher. Oh, yeah. Did you see what happened? Here's what they saw out there. You said you were as high as you could go, and on the count of 3, when I said go higher, the whole room went up another like 6 inches. All right, put your hands down, have a seat. We're going to do one more thing. I promise there's a point. I promise. So this time, I want you to just close your eyes. So if you can still see me, your eyes are not closed. There you go. And I want you to listen now for the next sound that you hear. And here's the sound that I need them to hear. I need you to scream for your baby that is about to graduate from the Cleveland School of Digital Arts. Come on now, you can do better than that. Blow the roof off this place. That's not bad for the suburbs, but this is Cleveland now. Come on. Feels like we need to do it just one more time. Come on now. So let me tell you why we did this. I know that there are some of you sitting here right now that did not think you were going to get here. You didn't think you were going to pass that last class, earn those credits, pass that OST, get those seals, finish those hours. You said to yourself, I can't do this. I'm not going to make it. I give up. Worse, I know that there are people not in here, but out there that have told you that you should not be here because you're black or Hispanic, or because you're a woman, or because you've experienced poverty, or because you went to a Cleveland public school. But here's what else I know. They are wrong. They're wrong. This diploma that you're about to pick up off of this table is the same diploma that every student in the state of Ohio is picking up in June 2023. Yours is not different than theirs, and it is not less than theirs. So, as someone who considers you my kids, I wish I could give you the gift as you leave today that you would never again doubt yourself. You would never again question whether you can do the thing you set out to do. You would never start wondering if you should just give up. I wish that you would never again experience anyone trying to tell you that you don't belong at this college, you shouldn't live in this community, you shouldn't have that job, you shouldn't love that person that you love. I wish I could take that from you. But you know and I know, haters are gonna hate. So instead, when you start doubting on your next thing, and you're all going to have a next thing, we are all going to have a next thing. When you start doubting yourself, when you start wondering if you can do it, or when somebody dares to try and stand in your way, I just want you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to remember what it felt like, not just sounded like, felt like, to feel that love pour over you. And then I want you to stand up. I want you to go as high as you can. And then I want you to go higher. Congratulations to the Cleveland High School for the Digital Arts Class of 2023.
Let's give another round of applause for our CEO, Mr. Eric Gordon. At this time, if you are a mother of a graduate on this stage, I ask you to stand at this time. The mothers of the graduates, will you please stand? Moms, you are the backbone of the success that is on this stage. You have cried, you have pushed, you have worried, you have fussed, you have cried, you have put on punishment, you have spent money, you've done everything that you could do, and you never gave up. To the mothers, we thank you. This applause is for the moms. Now, to all the dads in the room, to all the dads of the graduates, please stand, all the dads of the graduates. The backbone. To all of our dads, you're the bass note in our chord. You make our dissonance sound smooth and easy. For you being that man in the life of this graduate, you may not make Channel 8 News because you do the right thing. So at this time, we want you to know this applause is for the dads in the house. Now I need grandma, granddad, auntie, and uncle to please stand. Grandma, granddad, poppy, mommy, uncle, auntie, please stand. They say that it's an African proverb that it takes a village. I disagree with that because that is a universal proverb. I don't care where you are from, what your origin, it took a village to get your senior to this place. So for every support member, grandma, granddad, auntie, uncle, thank you. This applause is for you. And we will not forget big brother, big sister, little brother, little sister, cousin. Come on, it's your turn. Stand up. I thank you, especially the older siblings, because sometime when they would not hear mama, daddy, poppy, mommy, they heard you. So for all of your pushing, your prodding, your encouragement, we thank you, and the end result is here on the stage tonight. And we thank our big brothers and sisters. As Mr. Gordon has led the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, not only us as administrators and teachers, but he has also partnered with a team of professionals here in the city, the Cleveland School Board, who has always looked out for the interests of scholars first. They have always seen to it that no matter the situation, no matter the predicament, scholars came first. It is my honor to present to you Dr. Lisa Thomas, member of the Cleveland School Board.
Thank you, Principal. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here, and it's all about you. It's all about you, and it's like a dream. You feel like you're in a dream? Well, keep that feeling and dream bigger. I've been on the school board for 12 years. As Mr. Gordon said, you were in first grade when I got on the school board, so we learned this thing together. And what I've learned is that twice a month I go to meetings, and we talk about budgets, and we talk about contracts, and we talk about all sorts of things that in the first couple of years went right over my head. But I learned, and I learned along with you. And this is the icing on the cake. When I get to see your faces, when I get to hear the excitement of your families, this is what it's all about for me. And while I put up with a lot of discussions about very boring topics that would put us all to sleep, because of the excitement on your face and the fact that I know as a lifelong Clevelander that you are the future, and that you're going to go and have your adventure and go to college and go to work and learn about things, and then 10 years from now, you're all going to start popping up in really important places, doing really important things, and please come back to Cleveland to do that, because we desperately need you. And I see 9 new members of the school board in this class.
That's right.
So that's what I want you to do. Dream, dream big, and you can do anything you want. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'll be introducing Janelle Caesar, our class salutatorian. Janelle Caesar has shut down some of her peers' foolishness, was the leader of student government and the class newspaper, The Dragon Bite. Though I did not get a chance to know her as well as I would have liked to, she made a notable impression on me in English class when she gave her Socratic seminar argument and decimated her peers. Respectfully, she has always had a way with words, and she loves to win an argument. Her presentation was the perfect reflection of her as a student, intelligent, thorough, and strong. She's a go-getter. Her academic performance and work ethic have earned her acceptance at Bowling Green State University in the fall of 2023. Janelle's burning passion and dedication will allow her to successfully lead the masses of Bowling Green State University. While she works hard, she's not all work. Janelle is social when she wants to be and has a deep appreciation and exceptional talent for drawing, art, and video gaming. She also had a great sense of humor and definitely understands sarcasm. In the time we had together, we bonded over our love of old school R&B, and on a couple of occasions, we got to vibe out together on Patrice Rushen's Forget Me Not and Michael Jackson's Working Day and Night. This young lady has a bright future ahead, one filled with success, purpose, and drive. Can we please put our hands together for the class of 2023's salutatorian, Janelle Caesar.
Good evening, community and class of CHSDA 2023. How are y'all doing today? I know you're all feeling a rush of emotions. We, as a community, as educators, learners, friends, and family, are all feeling all of the emotions. The choices we make as children set the foundation for every aspect of our lives. Working through the emotions can feel like seeing through the world from the other side of a thick fog. Living through the motions affects how we move, how we think, and yet we often fail to find the boat that anchors us, to find the wind that blows our sails. I see the faces of warriors and troopers. I see the faces of dragons themselves. We all face turmoil, blights that swallow us, monsters in the shadows that weigh heavily on us all. The hug that embraces, the torch that leads us, the light that heals us, the highest calling. As we soar towards higher goals, the community we have built and ties us to each other, we are a flight of dragons. We come together to succeed. As a community, we fix what is broken. Parents of dragons, you are the foundations of triumph. The work you put in to raise champions and leaders will not be forgotten. We recognize your blood, sweat, and tears. We recognize your endless days and nights, your hustle and work. We thank you. To my parents, I thank you. I thank your courage to stand strong. I thank your patience and forgiving grace. I thank you for fighting for me. Thank you. And my class of 2023, let me speak to you all real quick. I've been watching you all this time. I've seen you overcome hardships, great and small. Your hassle for the tassel is seen. We've built, give it up for yourselves one more time. For the bonds we built, we have shared each other's pains and struggles. We have shared each other's strengths and resiliences. We face this all together. We are one. We've grown from nothing but jitterbugs to speakers and protesters, organizers and event planners. Wigs pulled back, glasses crooked, we didn't see it all. We're here today to celebrate the valiant heroes. This is our day to shine. You who have overcome and succeeded where it is easier to fail. Let us come together one more time as friends, as family, as one, to celebrate the strength, to celebrate the compassion, to celebrate the rite of passage of our dragons. I celebrate you. I praise you for letting me grace this stage, for allowing me to grow with you all. Thank you. Dragons forever!
Good evening. I have the distinguished honor tonight to introduce and present to you the class of 2023 valedictorian, Aaron Kresman. Aaron came to digital arts 4 years ago with an interest in video game design. His philosophy for digital arts is to keep an open mind and try all of the digital art classes. While at digital arts, Aaron's favorite class was history. He enjoyed meeting and socializing with his schoolmates. His junior and senior years were very impressive and innovative with the interactive activities that they participated in. He is a member of the Boys Squad, which consists of Julian, Shaheen, Shamar, and Haywood. Since his junior year, if you see one, you will see all 5 of them. Aaron will be attending the Ohio State University in the fall. Where he will major in computer science and pursue a career in IT. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Aaron Kresman.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming today. I'm Aaron Kresman, the valedictorian. Like you all, I'm glad to be here, even through all of the hardships. Speaking of hardships, I want to talk to you about the biggest hardship we all face the same. Our graduating class has had one of the most eventful, yet uneventful high school experiences of the last 20 years. We started our high school experience the same as any other, but we sure didn't end it as such. A little more than halfway through, as you all know, we got put into quarantine by the COVID-19 pandemic. We were just finishing up our first year of high school, almost done at last, then BAM! Just like that, we were bound to our homes, forbidden to leave. You may think this would be a student's dream, but as it turned out, this wasn't ideal for us. We were told to finish our first year off remotely, and then, not knowing how, start our second year online. While the teachers were willing to help us get through this, it seemed to be just too much for a lot of students, or it just wasn't the right environment for students to work on an education. Being stuck at home 24/7 isn't going to make a teenager want to learn. This is where a lot of us saw our grades struggle. Because we had little to no structure, we felt doomed and lost. Then, hope shined through as we all received the news that we would be coming back for our 11th grade year. As we all came back to school, we weren't really eased into it. It seemed to us that the school district thought us throwing on a mask and going back to school would fix everything. This was not the case, as we were missing a large portion of information. While we were thankful to be in closer contact with our teachers and put back into the right environment to learn, we just got done with a year off. This was the exact opposite of what happened freshman year, putting us once again into a state of uncertainty. What I'm glad to be able to say is that our school staff were very helpful and understanding of what we were all feeling, because they were going through a similar situation as teachers. I think we as a class can all agree that our teachers made 11th grade a really special year for us. While we were readjusting to being in school, however, we still had to get into the groove of things, especially since this was an important year. Not only did we have to catch up on stuff we missed, we also had the OST and SAT sneaking up on us. We had to put the most effort in school just to be able to hold on to what the average 11th grade year would be like. Through that, we all pushed through and made it to our final year. Now that it seemed like the COVID effects had all worn off, we were set and determined to finish off the final year, hurry up, and graduate. And now that we are all here, I want to acknowledge the teachers who were set on getting us all here today. Without the determination of our staff this year to help us graduate in class and finish strong, we would not all be here today. Our teachers, understanding what we have been through, did their best to guide us to an ending to our crazy high school careers. With many of us feeling that we didn't get a real high school experience, we do agree that it was quite the experience to have. Even through COVID and all the hard work we put in, I'm sure we are glad to put in the work to make it to this moment. With the odds stacked against us, we all made it through to today and are proud to say that the tassel was worth the hassle. Thank you.
Good evening. For those I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, I'm the school counselor here at Digital Arts, and it is my honor to announce the many things that we have to celebrate about these almost alumni from CHSDA's class of 2023. Before I get into the details, I just want to recognize, as Aaron did, that all of these honors and achievements, I think, mean even more for this class, because they had the stress of interrupting their 9th and 10th grade year with a pandemic lockdown. Virtual learning wasn't easy for any of us, but it was especially challenging as they were just starting their high school career. I know it was a pain, but I think the experience made you stronger, made you more tolerant of others, more able to adapt to changing environments and changing circumstances, and I know that those strengths are going to carry you far in life. All right, so let's start celebrating. Number one, Please stand if you are receiving any free money from any scholarship or college. So what you are looking at up here is a total of almost $500,000 in scholarships. Thank you. You can have a seat. Thank you. Okay, I want to recognize Emily Coleman, who is receiving she's receiving the College Now Traditional Scholarship. And I want to give a special recognition to our valedictorian and salutatorian, Aaron Kresman and Janelle Caesar, who are College Now top scholars. College Now top scholars. Thank you. We have 5 scholars on the stage who have been recognized by the Rotary Club of Cleveland for the Thesmacher Award, which is for excellence of character. And these are well-deserving students. Please stand. Nelvon Woods, Hannah Pra, Harmony Williams, Andre Francis, and Nathaniel Gabriel. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. You can have a seat. All right. Say Yes to Education is a citywide grant that offers a lot of wraparound services and support for all families, our students and their families. But a very special part of this grant is a tuition gap scholarship, which covers any gap in tuition for any student attending a state university, college, or trade school. And we are very lucky to have 46 students, please stand, receiving Say Yes scholarships. Very nice. You can have a seat. The state of Ohio added a new graduation requirement for 2023. They had to earn 2 graduation seals. Every single one of our scholars earned their seals without complaint, and 44 of them earned more than the required 2 seals. And I just wanted to give a special recognition. We have one overachieving scholar who has 6 graduation seals. Venice Williams. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. So we have a lot to be proud of. And last but not least, I want to introduce you to our top 10. Number 10 in the class, Jaden Levon Davis. Number 9 in the class, Jason C. Hayes. Number 8 in the class, Harmony Mary Mildred Williams. Number 7 in the class, Emily Dawn Coleman. Number 6 in the class, Anthony Drawl. Number 5 in the class, Shaheem Henderson. Number 4 in the class, Mylan Ware. Number 3 in the class, Andre Francis. Salutatorian of the class of 2023, Janelle Caesar. And valedictorian of the class of 2023, Aaron Kresman. You may be seated, Harmony. You may be seated.
Venkot Palmer, better known as Vinny, is an educator, instructional designer, musician, producer, and audio engineer. Born in Miami, Florida, he considers Northeast Ohio his true home. Mr. Palmer grew up in Euclid, where he graduated high school as a member of the band and choir. He went on to earn a Bachelor's of Arts in Business Administration from Baldwin-Wallace University in 2004. After graduating, he described himself as lost and lacking purpose. He produced recording projects for many different local Cleveland areas and national recording artists, including Howard Hewitt. However, he felt something was missing. After marrying his wife of 16 years, Jennifer, and fathering his two daughters, Maya and Skylar, he decided it was time for a change. In 2012, Mr. Palmer enrolled in the Recording Arts and Technology program at Cuyahoga Community College. This decision would serve as the turning point of his life. During his time in the RIT program, he met many of Cleveland's finest audio engineers, musicians, and venue owners. But one of his most significant experiences at Tri-C was his time working as an intern in the student production office, where he learned principles of filmmaking, post-production, and audio for film. Upon graduating the RIT program in 2016, Mr. Palmer accepted the position of Teacher of Exploratory Recording Arts at Cleveland High School for Digital Arts. His time at CHSDA not only taught him how to be an educator, but how to care deeply. He says that as a teacher, his most gratifying moments are hearing the sound, "Oh," because that's the moment when the students get it. In August of 2021, Mr. Palmer furthered his education by earning a Master's of Science in Instructional Design and Technology from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. He credits his success at Full Sail to the foundation he received as a student at Tri-C. Recently, Mr. Palmer accepted the role of program manager for Recording Arts and Technology and Film and Media Arts at Tri-C. Serving alongside and supporting the instructors while providing leadership to the program that helped him unlock his purpose and calling is the honor of his life. Mr. Palmer has always had a positive influence and impact on our lives. So we as the class of 2023 felt there was no one better to send us out into the world than from a role model who since the beginning of our journey here has set us up to be entirely more prepared than when we first arrived at CHSDA. And it is my honor to present this year's commencement speaker, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Harmony. I want to give special honor to Mrs. Karen Byron Johnson for your wonderful and bold leadership of this school. You have been an inspiration and breath of fresh air to so many. I also want to give special honor to my former colleagues, the incredible educators and staff of Cleveland High School for Digital Arts. Whom I had the pleasure to serve with from 2016 to 2021. I learned a great deal from you, and I'm proud to have had the opportunity to serve alongside you to equip our students for their futures. And most of all, I want to extend the highest of honor to the graduating class of 2023 and their parents. You've reached the milestone in graduating high school. You have worked hard, and you deserve everything good that's coming your way. Let's give them one hand real quick. I stand before you full. The reason I'm full is because when I was at CHSDA as a teacher, I was one of only a handful of teachers who got to interact with these students from the time they walked through the doors as freshmen to the time they graduated. In that brief period, I got to see them come in as young humans and grow and change into young adults right before my eyes. And it was like watching flowers bloom. I got to witness every stage of their growth from 14 on up to 17 and 19. What a privilege it was to be a part of that pivotal stage. What a privilege it was to teach them the art that I am so passionate about while simultaneously sneaking in real life lessons into every message. So I'm proud today because although these are young adults walking across these stage, these are still my babies. Well, you're graduating. And guess what? I'm graduating too. You're graduating out of secondary school and moving on into either college or the workforce or whatever you choose to pursue. Well, I'm graduating too. Now that you're leaving school, I am no longer Mr. Palmer. You can leave that title at CHSDA. I'm graduating to Uncle Palmer. And as the first official act as your uncle, I'm going to do what uncles often do. I'm going to give you advice that you didn't ask for. There are a few things I want you to experience in life. The first thing I want you to experience is failure. I know what you're thinking. Uncle Palmer, that sounds a little negative, sounds a little dark. Why would you want us to fail? Notice, I didn't say I wanted you to be a failure. I said I want you to experience failure. There's a difference. Being a failure is a state of mind that you must choose every day. However, experiencing failure is a powerful teacher. Now, if you don't know, I'm big on quotes. Here are a couple of quotes to consider. Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, said, "Failure is a chance to begin again more intelligently." Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, one of the richest people alive, said, "Success is a lousy teacher. It convinces smart people they have nothing to learn." I'll circle back around to learn in a minute. But failure teaches the character that sustains success. There's something to be said for the grit and determination it takes to fail and try again. Here are a couple of things that are happening when you fail. Number one, if you fail at something, that means you tried something. The best way to never get results is to never try. You took a risk and tried something that might have been beyond your skill set. But every time you try again, you build towards that skill set you need to succeed. I failed, let me be transparent. I failed the Ohio Educators exam 7 times. Let me say that again. I failed the Ohio Educators exam 7 times before I passed it. That means while I was teaching you, I was failing. While I was showing you how to succeed at programming GarageBand, I was failing over and over and over and over. But every time I took that test, I learned something new. Every time I failed the test, I left with a new skill set that I didn't have before. Every time I failed, I got closer and closer to passing. The second thing that's happening when you fail, if you failed at something, that means your energy is no longer potential. It is now kinetic. I personally hate the phrase, he, she, they have potential. If you remember from your science class, there's a difference between potential and kinetic energy. Potential energy is the energy an object possesses that is not moving. In other words, an object that has potential energy is an object that is not performing to its peak ability. It has potential. But when an object has kinetic energy, that means that object is in motion. Even if it is moving in the wrong direction, it's moving. In my experience, it is much easier to redirect an object in motion going the wrong way than getting a motionless object to move. I'll never forget the quote from my father. He said, "It is impossible to give direction to a parked car." The next thing I want you to do is I want you to always learn. Zig Ziglar, a best-selling author and motivational speaker, said this: "If you are unwilling to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you." Learning is a lifelong process. In other words, you never stop learning. The most powerful learning moments that I had as a teacher is when I learned from you. An unnamed scholar once said, he doesn't debate with anyone who is not his intellectual equal, and I completely disagree with that statement. It was those candid and deep conversations in my classroom with you that taught me about gender affirmation and pronouns. It was you who taught me about the dangers that you face on the RTA transit system. It was you who taught me about how to ally with a community that I may not identify with. So remain teachable always. The last thing I want you to do is always get in over your head. I want you to bite off more than you can chew. Now you're thinking, Unc, you crazy now. I want you to never choose the easiest route. The path of least resistance is always the path of least growth. If you are never challenged beyond your perceived limits, you'll never go beyond those perceived limits. I'm reminded of the story of the butterfly. The process of a caterpillar becoming a butterfly is quite complex, so I won't go into all the detail. However, I heard an interesting story about a man who was watching the fascinating and incredible sight of a butterfly breaking through a cocoon. The man immediately noticed the butterfly was struggling and figured something was wrong. So out of the goodness of his heart, he went over to help the butterfly by breaking the cocoon to help the butterfly out of the difficult struggle. When the whole process was over, the man noticed the butterfly couldn't fly and eventually died right there in the grass. The man was puzzled. It turns out one should never help a butterfly out of a cocoon, no matter how much it struggles. It's because the struggle to break through the cocoon is what builds the wing strength needed to fly. Without the struggle, you'll never fly. You'll die never experiencing your full potential. Before I take my seat, y'all know I'm an audio engineer. I'd like to leave you with a little bit of audio engineering and music production insight. Now, we as humans, this will be class for y'all. Y'all ready? We as humans see and hear in 3 dimensions. Left, right, and center is our sense of direction. Front and back is our sense of loud and soft. And top to bottom is our sense of tone and pitch. In closing, I want to talk about top to bottom. Now, the range of human hearing is 20 hertz, which is the lowest frequency, and 20,000 hertz, which is the highest frequency. Now, stay with me, I'm going somewhere. The highest frequency are fast-moving and weak waves. These waves give a song a sense of clarity, sizzle, and polish. When you're in a room listening to a song, the high-frequency waves are what makes the voices intelligible. You can hear the words and tones because of the high frequencies. But have you ever noticed that when you leave a room where music is playing, it becomes harder and harder to hear the words of a song once you leave that room? That's because weak, high-frequency waves aren't strong enough to pierce walls. Low-frequency waves are slow-moving, very powerful waves. These waves give a song a sense of foundation, pulse, and groove. You feel waves as much as you hear them. The thump of a bass drum, the groove of a bass guitar, 808, can be felt and heard. And when you leave a room where there is music playing, you may not be able to hear the words clearly, but you can hear the bass and the kick as if you're still in the same room. This is because powerful low-end waves are strong enough to pierce walls. Having said that, I want you to take money, houses, cars, land, surfacey relationships, even your job, and place them in the category of high-end waves. All these vibrations, while providing air and icing on the cake of your life, are ultimately weak vibrations. As you move through the different levels of your life, you'll notice these things matter less and less. They don't pierce walls. Now I want you to take family, real love, true friendship, your health, education, your career, and your core beliefs and place them in the category of low-end waves. These vibrations are slow and powerful. As you move through every phase of your life, these powerful vibrations won't get lost in the shuffle. Every level of your life, these things, if nurtured and cultivated, will pierce walls and follow you through every transition of your evolution. I love you, class of 2023. Congratulations on moving to your next level in your life, and I wish you the best. Thank you.
As you see these graduates on the stage, we have spoken of the many things that they have accomplished and the great places that they are going. As part of their gift on their journey to their future, each one of these graduates has received a certificate from CMSD to receive a free laptop from PCs for People to take with them into their digital journey beyond high school. CMSD put their money where their heart is and wanted to make certain they had that hardware that they would need to navigate their next journey. It is now time for the most important part of the evening as we certify the class for graduation.
Principal Karen Byron Johnson, class advisors, members of the faculty, do you attest to the fact that these students here assembled have satisfactorily completed the requisite course of study prescribed by the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, the Board of Education of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and the Ohio Department of Education?
Dr. Thomas, it is my honor to certify that all the students on this stage today have met all of the educational requirements of the state of Ohio and the Cleveland Metropolitan School District and have passed all of the required parts of the Ohio graduation and the Ohio State tests. These students are now ready to receive their diplomas.
Then, on behalf of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District Board of Education, I have the high honor to bestow upon you, members of the Cleveland High School for Digital Arts 2023 graduating class, your high school diplomas, along with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Will the first group of graduates please rise? Kadar Anderson. Matthew Jean Bear. Tara Nicole Belcher. Charmaine My Angel Bolden. Tremere Drayvon Bryson. Nevaeh Carter. Janelle Spring Caesar. Ashira Victoria Churn. Emily Dawn Coleman. Jaden Levon Davis. Anthony Drawl. Trinity Tajay Evans. Andre Francis. Jasmine May Fuentes. Nathaniel Gabriel. Ricardo A. Gilson. Xavier Gonzalez. Cameron M. Grady. Frederick Grant. Jason C. Hayes. Shaheem Henderson. Cameron Joseph Holmes. Delvante DeMont Hostetter. Narshawn Michael Johnson. Aaron Kresman. Julian C. Machado. Chris Alexander Martinez. Aaron DeAndre Matthews. Octavia Elizabeth Meadows. Joshua Howard Mendez. Danye Javier Montgomery. Jordan Mwami. Brandon Jeremiah Newton. Hannah Pra. Beautiful Angelic Rembert. Diamond Francesca Robertson. Patrick Austin Samilton. Caleb Owen Slaughter. Jaden Smith. William Summerer. Haywood Stubblefield. King Swift. Richelle Marie Thomas. Olivia Janice Triplett. Lauren Wade. Mylan Ware. Janaya Wiley. Thomas Wilford Beasley. Harmony Mary Mildred Williams. Maurice Williams. Shamar D. Williams. Sir Jordan Lee Williams. Venice Ann Cherie Williams. Nelvon Woods. On behalf, okay, awesome, thank you.
On behalf of Dr. Lisa Thomas, our board member who had departed to certify our next class of graduates, but on behalf of Dr. Thomas and the Board of Education of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District and Mayor Justin Bibb, I want to congratulate the young men and women of the Cleveland High School for Digital Arts class of 2023, your parents, and your families.
For our final ceremony element, the tassel on the mortarboard is worn on the right side as a symbol of change. I hereby declare the Cleveland High School for Digital Arts class of 2023 to be graduates of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. You may now move your tassel to the left side of your mortarboard as a sign that you are an alumni of the Cleveland School District. Woo-hoo! We did it! At this time, again, on behalf of CEO Gordon, our school board, our distinguished guests, the fabulous faculty of Cleveland High School for Digital Arts, we thank you so much for being with us at this time. If you would clear the aisles, the graduates are on their way to the lobby. So what we are asking you to do, to please clear the aisles. You can receive them in the lobby because they're yours. They're yours. Thank you so much. Have a safe travel home. Mr. Gordon, yes, you can lead them. Come on. Rochelle, this way, baby. King. Tremere, you got to be in the line, baby. Come on. You're doing a great job. Don't cry, Diamond. Don't hurt you, baby. Yay. Father, I thank you in the name of Jesus. Bless them as they go, God. Every step of the way, God, walk with them. Protect them from all hurt and all harm. God, cover them as only you can. God, protect them from all evil that may overtake them.